to the ruling in relation to the October 26 election. Yesterday, the Supreme Court spoke. It upheld the presidential election of October 26, as you are aware. The matter was decided justly and impartially, and we should respect the ruling of the court. It binds the president, his Jubilee ticket, and every single Kenyan. It binds us as Kenyans because we have bound ourselves to our constitution and to the rule of law. Indeed, for us to live together in harmony, we must have a set of rules to which we are all committed. If we remain a country governed by laws, if our people abide by them, and their leaders' actions are circumscribed by them, then we will live in peace, in a vibrant democracy, not in fear under any form of tyranny. Our region, and indeed the world, is littered with broken, dysfunctional countries that failed the test of democracy and fell into anarchy. We as Kenyans must jealously guard our nationhood and our hard-won peace and security. When dissent escalates and causes injury to innocent Kenyans, it becomes illegality. It also becomes a profound betrayal of the hopes of millions of Kenyans who look upon their leaders to ensure that they get a better life. The presidency condemns all perpetrators of such reckless dissent. The ruling of the Supreme Court yesterday is a vote for the constitutional path. It is a resounding triumph of the rule of law over tragedy of chaotic disorder. The Supreme Court has affirmed the path designed by the architects of our republic, a path governed by constitutional institutions and the rule of law, a path whose end is order, stability, and prosperity for our great nation. Faced with the choice between constitutional order and lawlessness, we have chosen the rule of law. And faced with the choice between mediating political differences by law or by force and street protest, we have chosen the constitutional order. That, in the President's view, is the only way forward. When he took the oath of office as President, President Kenyatta swore to protect the Constitution that binds us all. As President, his actions were and are ordered by the rule of law. This is why he submitted himself to the authority of the Supreme Court after they nullified the victory he got in August. The President is particularly troubled by the violence and disorder we have seen in parts of the country in the last few months, and he deeply regrets that we have lost Kenyans to this violence. He mourns every life lost in the senseless riots, and no Kenyan should die because of their political leaning. The protection of property is also part of the President's constitutional obligation. And by property, he does not mean just the businesses, vehicles, buildings destroyed in political demonstration. He means also the property of poor traders, like the woman whose bananas were violently taken away from her after she was stabbed by rioting youth. And he will continue to work to protect people and their property. The President would like to assure all Kenyans those who voted for him and those who did not, that he will be their president, the president of all Kenyans. No one should fear that they will be marginalized or penalized for their political choice. The president wishes also to thank everyone who made the elections on October 26 possible. And this includes the IEBC, which gave us free, fair, credible, and successful elections under very difficult circumstances. Next week, the president will take his oath of office. On that day, he will rededicate himself to the path of peace, prosperity, constitutional order, and healing. On the matter of the elections, let me close by saying this. We are a great nation whose institutions effectively play their role, separately and in coordination, to realize the rule of law. Our democracy and our freedoms are safeguarded by this. Let me now focus on the next steps. As I mentioned earlier, the President will take his oath for a second term next week on November 28, and the Assumption of Office Committee is now meeting to plan that inauguration event. For the media, there will be an alert issued this afternoon by the National Government Communications Coordination Center with details about accreditation and that type of thing. More detail on this will be issued towards the end of the week. Some of you have asked about how many countries have congratulated the President on his re-election. And as of yesterday, we can confirm more than 40 countries had done so. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs will release the details in due course. Essentially, these congratulations are normally funneled through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The President, as President-elect, is now working on his priorities for his second term, and he will speak to some of these when he addresses the nation at his inauguration next week. Lastly, and unrelated to elections, as you know, the CS for Education, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, released the results of the 2017 KCP examinations earlier today. Before he made the public announcement, he met the President, and the President has directed the Minister and his ministry to set special examinations, special supplementary examinations for a special cadre of students who, because of compassionate reasons, may usually have difficulty doing exams during the normal exams calendar. So these special examinations would be undertaken by students who may be ill, those who lose their parents, who have lost their parents during that period, or to students who may give birth during the course of the normal national examinations calendar. It's foreseen that these students can sit special supplementary exams that will be prepared for a period slightly outside of the normal exams calendar. As you know, this is a practice around the world. We've been lagging behind that, and I think it's time to bridge that gap. Thank you. Yeah, maybe one, no more. Yeah.